Hello, and welcome to DISPL's customer presentation. My name is Lorenza, and I am the VP for the Americas. I'm going to walk you through this presentation today. On this first slide, the first thing I always like to talk about is our privacy compliance. Because we are collecting demographical data using computer vision, it's very important that we do so in a compliant manner. So in regards to that, we are GDPR certified as well as CCPA compliant. We're in the process of getting our certification in Brazil as well. We do operate globally, and we take great care into making sure that the manner in which we collect our data is always compliant no matter what country we are serving. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so here is a good snapshot of some of the companies that we are already servicing as clients. So as you can see, we range across a various vast network of industries. We got brands, retailers, HoReCa, banks, and media owners as well. We can also do, yeah, it says here on the fourth line, corporate communications. Quite honestly, I think there's also other industries we may not even have tapped into yet that we can definitely help and utilize. And I hope you notice there's some quite some big brands on this slide as well. So we are a proven solution. This next slide is what our clients are saying about us. I invite you, go ahead, pause this, go ahead and read them all. I will read the middle one just because it's short and sweet and gets to the point. The data provided by DISPL has allowed us to improve decision-making processes and optimize our marketing strategy. I mean, at the very core of what we do, that is what we do. You do not need digital signage. You do not need big bells and whistles in order to collect data and make improved decisions that will directly affect your bottom line. And we can see that that's already the case for this client. Okay, so what is our solution exactly? It can be broken down into three segments. The heart of our solution, which is our AI technology, our AI algorithm that was developed about 12 years ago, it is measure. So we are measuring data analytics, about 72 different data points using computer vision. The second aspect of our software is Engage. This is our content management system. It can operate on its own or in conjunction with our measure, our data analytics. So what I mean by that is we can control the content on digital signage, as well as create smart content that will change based on the data that we are collecting. So think of this like male geared content versus female geared content, content specific to age, things of that nature. And finally, within our product, we have the monetize option. The monetize option is excellent for media owners. So using your digital signage as a billboard, you can sell back advertising space to brands. And our software allows you to not only manage the playback of those campaigns, but also monetize them to earn money. So just a little look at what the ROI is versus traditional advertising methods. So of course we have the tried and true printed method. These are printed posters, printed signage, things like that. They're static, they do not change, that they have to be manually printed and put out. They are the most cost-effective item as far as they are the cheapest to produce and to utilize, but they also have the lowest return, as you can see. Second, we have digital signage. So this is anytime we're using, a TV, an LED screen, an LCD screen that is playing campaigns. A lot of times our digital signage is managed by a USB plugin. It requires a representative of the advertising company to go out, pull the plugin out, upload new material, and change it out. It's a little bit cumbersome, time consuming. Uh, and in order to have anything kind of change on these signs, it has to be done manually. And then you have retail media by DISPL. So now you have digital signage that is controlled by the cloud. No longer do you have to send a rep out. You can change it based on either geofencing, or if you've gotten demographical data back and you need to upgrade your campaign in an instant, all can be done from the cloud platform. Saves you a lot of time and money on overhead, as well as using the demographical data for targeted content. So as a woman in this image that you see walks up, that targeted content can change to speak to her directly. So obviously this is going to greatly and vastly improve the ROI because the messages are getting to the right people at the right time. Okay, next slide. So like I mentioned, we do have these three products. We have Engage, we have Monetize, and we have Measure. Historically and even to date, you will have to use three separate softwares to get the desired effect that DISPL provides. A lot of the people that I talk to right now, especially if they have digital signage, and they are looking to monetize that digital signage, they are using one software just for content management. They are using another software just to collect data, a whole nother system even just to collect data. And then finally, they're using a whole nother SSP, self-service platform, to manage the monetization of it. So no longer do we have to use these three separate softwares and systems. We can now all put it under one umbrella and have it all be handled from one easy to use platform, which is ours, DISPL. Okay, so what is it exactly that we are collecting? So here's a look at 17 plus attributes. Like I said, we are using computer vision. So that means we use a sensor that collects data from a person's face. So if you think of the zone of collection, it would be from the top of someone's head to the middle of their chest. And in this area, we are collecting 72 data points that yields this demographical data. So age and gender, these are obvious ones that we are collecting. Mimics and or emotions. So we can see if someone's happy, sad, angry, or surprised. This is extremely helpful for A/B testing. So if you are trying to evoke a certain type of emotion, if your campaign is telling a joke or wants to give somebody warm, fuzzy feelings or anything like that, you will be able to see instantly in these reports if your campaign is doing what you hope it is to be doing. And if it isn't, you can make changes right on the spot there and send it all out. So it's extremely helpful to get that feedback right away. We also have customer journey and dwell time. So customer journey ID. So if you think of something like a shopping center, shopping mall, something where there are going to be more than one touch point, meaning a wayfinding sign, an entrance to the store, an exit, this type of thing, we can give each shopper a customer ID number and we can follow their journey throughout the store. So for example, if we're talking about grocery stores, and each line or each aisle has a sensor on it, we can see how are people moving through the store. Where are they spending the majority of their time? Where are the dead points? And what can you do to fix those, right? And where are the high traffic spots of the store? Because that's where we're going to put our high ticket items, right? So this customer journey is extremely, extremely helpful. And I just want to mention a little bit more about the GDPR compliance. Because of the GDPR compliance, we can only track this shopper for 3 hours. So for the duration of their visit. So we cannot track them again if they come back the next day. This would almost be stalking, right? So this would push them out of compliance. There are some ways around that. And when you do talk to your rep, you can ask them about linking to a loyalty program, so that people can give permission to have their behavior continuously tracked. but overall, on a general basis, we're going to be tracking them for 3 hours. So for the duration of their visit. Okay. Smile is a fun one. So obviously we're able to generate smile out of emotions, and smile is an indicator of happiness. We also have some fun targeted content that happens with smile. So for Colgate, they have a promotion on digital signage within the grocery store that says, show me your smile and get 10% off this Colgate toothpaste. And as soon as that shopper gives their big pearly whites, a QR code pops up on the screen. They scan it with their phone, and as they're checking their groceries out, that Colgate is now 10% off. So there's a lot of fun things to do with that. Headwear, glasses, facial hair, face masks, some other really interesting things that can lend itself well to apparel and beauty. All right, so what we have available now that we've collected all this data is how are we going to present it to you in such a manner that it's easy to read and easy to understand. So our developers have worked very rigorously to create these dashboards that anybody, I mean, even I'm not a huge analytical specialist or anything like that, but I can read these dashboards super simple. Some of our competition ends up giving out Excel spreadsheets and all these long drawn out data points that are very, very hard to decipher. What is it I'm looking at, and what decision can be made based on this data? So that was what our developers really took in mind is, can we give you the report in such a way that you can quickly make a decision? You can quickly see that on this day and on this time, you have the most visitors. So if you're going to put a promotion in, it should be done then. At this day, we always, on Fridays, we always have more females in the store than we do males. So we're going to put this type of promotion in at that time. So that's exactly what we've done here, is we've made it easy to read as well as easy to make decisions based off of. Another thing that's really helpful is if you already have a platform of some sort, we do have an open API. So you don't necessarily have to operate off of this platform. You can pull the data in to your current platform using our open API. So here we can just take a look at some like close-up shots of two of our most popular reports. This one is that customer journey I was talking about. So every censored area is going to have a marker here on this customer journey, and you're going to be able to see the flow through the store. You're going to be able to understand where the majority of the flow is going, where they're not going, how long they're stopping for, how long they're interacting with, and the full customer journey. Below you have what's called like the heat map of traffic. So every sensor will have its own heat map. You will be able to see exactly on what day and what time had the most concentrated traffic, as well as be able to break that down and see who, what demographic were they. So this is a fun one. This is one that is really popping off the charts right now for our customers, and it is employee effectiveness. So setting up KPIs for your employees and really understanding if they're doing and achieving those KPIs with or without you there. So this is exciting. So what we are able to collect with employee effectiveness is we're able to collect when the employee shows up, if and when they are in their workstations, how long they're there, when they leave, if they go on break, how long are they on break? If they are a customer facing employee, how many customers are they helping each day? How long do they stay consulting with each customer? And do they have a smile on their face while they are working with said customer? So the biggest question that each of my reps get asked is, what about our security cameras? We have 15 security cameras already in place. Can we just load into there and use them? So the answer isn't cut and dry. It's not a yes or no answer. It's one that has to be analyzed on a per project basis. So The things to think about when we talk about CCTV cameras, security cameras, and things, IP cameras, is placement. Okay, like I mentioned a couple slides ago, we use computer vision and we capture 72 data points on the person's face, ranging from the top of their head to the middle of their chest. Well, when these cameras are placed, they're really just trying to track people within the store, their entrances, and things like that. So they're not so much concerned with those same 72 data points that we are. So a lot of the times you get the top of somebody's head or maybe a little chunk of their forehead, and you don't get the clear picture that our software needs to analyze and come back with that demographical data. So that's number one. Number two is the privacy compliance. So we use computer vision, but we never store the image of the people that are shopping. All that's left behind when you use our system is the demographical data. Well, the whole point of a security footage is to store the image. So now when we collect this demographical data, age, emotion, gender, and we have it stored with the likeness of someone's image, we now are out of compliance. So regardless if we're using security footage or not, we will still have to route those images off to a separate server or a separate mini PC, mainly ours, so that they don't go to the security server, and so that we're keeping the images separate from the data and in turn keeping you compliant. Another issue that we have to analyze on a case-by-case basis is the equipment. Is it strong enough? Are the images generated going to be sharp enough for us to collect the data? So if this is a project that you are looking to fulfill, please talk to your rep. They will get you in contact with a tech engineer, and they will analyze your hardware and give you recommendations on how to proceed in that manner if it's viable or not. Okay. Cool. So what we have here is, oh, let me go back. I was trying to get this video to play. It looks like it's not going to play for us, but you are more than welcome to go to our website, and the video plays smoothly there. But what we're looking at, I can briefly describe. We have two targets set up. We have a female in her 20s and a male in his 30s, and based on their age and gender, specific campaigns are then played for them. So that is our Engage. So what I mean by Engage is that is our content management system at work, using targeted content based on the demographical data that has been collected. Okay. If we go to the next slide here, you can see how you can manage those campaigns either by geofencing, by timing, and like I said, also set up those targets as well. So you can have one that's playing as a default. You can have it change as soon as a woman walks up. What's also cool is if you're thinking, like, for example, think of a restaurant, you can have the breakfast menu playing until 11 o'clock, at which point the lunch menu will kick in, and then at 3:30, the dinner menu can kick in. So the way that you organize, schedule, and create targets is all done from a very easy to use platform. So what we have noticed, and like I said, I do invite you to check out our website. You'll be able to see the video I was just talking about, as well as a lot of resources when it comes to case studies, okay? And what we have learned from these case studies is if people are just collecting the data, let's just pretend for a second digital signage is not important. We just want to understand our audience. By using our software just to understand the audience, you can improve your revenue by 15%. because now you know who is shopping, how they're shopping, what's their behavior. You know how to target them within the store. And now you have a way to increase that revenue. Now, when we start to add things in like digital signage and targeted content, we see that number improve drastically to like 25-30% even in some cases. And that is because we have that targeted content. So we have that automated upselling that's happening right at the time of purchase. What also is worth mentioning here is we have what's called a no-code template designer. This is a separate software, a separate software license. It's $189 a year on annual subscription. The beauty of this is you only need one per platform. So you can have 100 screens and you only need one of these to create the content for each of those screens. It just makes it super duper easy. Okay, now we're into the monetization portion of this. And this includes a self-service platform, typically called an SSP. Within this SSP, we are working to do integrations with other DSPs. The first integration that we're working on right now is Hivestack's DSP. So our self-service portal, this is an add-on or direct sales add-on. You talk to if you are a media owner or if monetization is something that you're looking for, please reach out to your rep so that they can give you separate pricing. And if you'll notice, monetization pricing is not on our website. That's because it's like a custom built software type of solution. So we'll have to see what kind of monetization and SSP we will need to provide for you, whether it's our add-ons or a self-service payment portal and things like that. So talk to your rep. They will be able to dive in deeper to this. But this basically, like I mentioned, it's a self-service portal for advertisers with your branding. We have real-time bidding auctions. We got waterfall options. People can pay for impressions. There's a bunch of different ways that you can sell this advertising space using this monetized. We also have target specific geolocation. So if you have advertisers that are located within a certain geographical region, their screens can become available to them for advertising. What's great about our monetization feature is each campaign that your advertisers will be using will get a report on how they performed. So when was the peak hours, who was watching, what's the demographical data of the viewer, and everything like that. So it's very, very valuable information, not only for you, but also for your advertisers. So how do we do it? This is our kit. Our kit is a Windows Nook that has been modified and configured to run our software as a plug and play solution. We also have a 1080 USB camera, but like I said, it does not operate as a camera. It operates as a sensor. So I'm going to call it a 1080 USB sensor. We have designed this sensor box to be very non-obtrusive. It very much just sits in the background, but is still collecting all that very important data. Our price is $688 subscription price per year. You can also find this on our website. This is for the full license of the software plus the hardware. The price renews. So the renewal for this is $688 for the next year. If you would like to have your hardware under warranty, if you say, hey, I don't care if my hardware breaks, I don't need you to replace it, I'm fine with that, replacing it myself, then we can do a renewal just on software alone. Please talk to your rep about what that price difference would be. A little bit about placement. We would like to help you when it comes to placement, especially with your first POC. Our tech team is going to be there to support you with placement. But just to talk a little bit about placement. Again, we want to be able to place these sensors where we will capture the top of someone's head to the middle of their chest. So we can get all those valuable 72 data points. So the entrance is a great placement. Also, it allows us to start tracking that customer journey from the start. Anywhere on the shelf that we want to see engagement, shelf engagement. And then the check stand is also a great place for placement. So overall, when we have these three, and we always recommend a minimum of 3 kits per POC. You're not going to be able to see all the data that I just went over with 1 kit. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll just buy 1 kit and I'll be able to have this great dashboard, you will be able to see some data. Don't get me wrong, but 3 kits is the minimum that we recommend for a really successful POC. So you will be able to see customer journey. You will be able to see conversion numbers. So if we had 100 people enter the store and only 50 people made it to the check stand, then we had a 50% conversion rate. Who's converting? What demographic is converting versus what demographic is entering the store? And this is where you really get your valuable data. So that brings me to the conclusion. Like I said, my name is Lorenza. I'm the VP. Who you're looking at here is the beautiful Lena. She is our co-founder and CCO. We are a small, tight-knit team. We are here to serve you, and we look forward to getting your pilot project off the ground. Please reach out to us. Thank you so much.